I didn't even hear the room fall silent. All I heard was the crack inside me, the same one my father thought he carved years ago. He placed his hand on my belly like he owned the right to touch what he never built, and delivered his insult with the calm of a man who believed he was untouchable. I kept breathing, slow, even, because rage burns fast, revenge burns steady. My mother-in-law stood next. Her glass clinked, a sharp little bell cutting through the tension. "Good news," she said, eyes flicking to my father. "This child will never need you." Everyone exhaled. Not me. I was still watching him, watching the twitch in his jaw, watching the shame he refused to name. And that was the moment, right there in the glow of pastel decorations and fake smiles, that I realized something. This wasn't the first betrayal, just the loudest. Backstory. My father taught me early what conditional love feels like. Straight A's? Not enough. Scholarship? Expected. Marriage? He called it finally useful. When I told him I was pregnant, he said he hoped the baby wouldn't inherit my weakness. But I kept trying, because children chase their parents' love long after they stop needing it. I should have stopped years ago. The discovery. The shift started small. Phone calls from him that ended too quickly. My mother whispering when I walked into the room. A sudden strange distance from the man who used to micromanage my every breath. Then came the message, forwarded by mistake from my cousin. A screenshot of my father calling me. A drain on resources. A long-term mistake. A burden I regret. And then the worst one. I don't plan to support her anymore. She made her choices. Let her live with them. My choices. My life. My child. I stared at those words until they lost shape. And then I saved them. Because a good strategist archives evidence. Shift in mindset. I didn't scream, didn't confront, didn't crumble. Instead, I made tea, sat at the kitchen table, and started planning the correction of a lifelong imbalance. My father had power, financial, social, familial. But power is fragile when it leans on reputation. All I had to do was pull one thread. The plan. Step 1. Reroute the narrative. I gathered every message, every voice note, every little slip where he mocked me or spoke of me as an obligation. I built a folder, a quiet, devastating archive. Step 2. Legal distance. I met with a lawyer. We drafted paperwork cutting financial ties, rewriting inheritance expectations, and documenting verbal emotional abuse with timestamps and witnesses. He'd lose leverage. He just didn't know it yet. Step 3. Financial independence. I transferred my savings, switched accounts, and removed him from anything with access. My business, my investments, even the emergency contact list he bragged about being on. Step 4. The reveal. Not a fight, a humiliation. The baby shower became perfect. Climax. I didn't plan his insult, but I welcomed the opportunity. When the room went tense, every eye frozen on my belly, I stepped away from his hand and said, quietly, calmly, "Dad, would you like to repeat what you said?" He blinked. It was a joke. The room didn't buy it. So I pulled out my phone, tapped the folder, and cast his own words onto the TV screen behind me. Every message, every insult, every confession of how he regretted the cost of raising me. Gasps spread through the room like a slow contagion. His face paled. Then my mother-in-law stood, raised her glass, and said the line that sealed everything. "Good news, this child will never need you." Because she knew. I had told her everything, and she made sure the entire family, mine and my husband's, stood behind me. My father's shoulders fell. He opened his mouth. No words came out. For the first time in my life, he had nothing to throw at me. I walked up to him, looked him in the eyes, and whispered, "I'm done auditioning for a role you never wanted me in." Then I handed him the legal envelope. Cutting ties, cutting leverage, cutting access. He didn't even open it. He knew. He was dismissed. Resolution. I didn't cry. I didn't tremble. I felt lighter. Revenge wasn't the spectacle. It was the silence that followed. His, not mine. My daughter kicked that night. A sharp, tiny reminder that some things begin only after you let others end. And as I held my belly, I whispered to her, "You'll never inherit my wounds, only my strength." That was the real victory.